Google Doc open. Okay.
All right.
What is up, everybody? I'm with Ellie Stokes, and
Hello.
I don't know if you're aware, but we do a clap at the beginning of all of these
Oh,
interviews.
yes, I'm very aware.
There is no purpose for this clap. I always like to reiterate that, but just because I think it always makes people laugh. Like, I
It's
don't know.
fun. It's fun. I love it. It's a good time.
I always count down. Why don't you count down,
I like this, and I love this interaction. Okay, let's go.
Ellie?
Okay. How about we count on from three and we clap
Okay.
on one,
Okay.
or after one. After one. Okay.
After
Three.
one.
Okay. Three, two, one. Ah, yes. About. Ah,
I mean,
yes.
it's impossible because of the delay. So it's like you can't, like, unless you mind read the clap before it clap, and
Nah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm
Yeah.
talking with Ellie Stokes today on this wonderful day, and we are going to discuss many things. But if you don't know, Ellie is the person behind the Big Leap Collective, which seems to have so many awesome things going on with it.
Aw.
Why don't we just start with that? Like, tell me about Big Leap. When did that get going?
Oh my God, totally. Yeah. So Big Leap is about a little over a year now, which is exciting. And I just kind of realized that the other day. So I started it last year, just kind of just like out of curiosity and for a like thesis assignment I had with school. And I had this amazing
Hmm.
teacher, and he was like, basically for your second semester, you can explore anything that you want to do. It just has to be like using the city as your classroom, kind of thing. And so I was
Okay.
like, I'm all for that shit because I hate school and I love the city. So I just kind of started developing the Big Leap Collective. And at that point, I was getting like more involved in the music scene here in San Francisco.
Hmm.
And which we kind of talked about ish, like with Fantasy Spiders, but we'll, yeah, get
Yeah.
into that stuff. Yeah, so I started meeting all of these amazing artists and musicians, and I also like I was off Instagram for so long, and I just re-downloaded it
Hmm.
to just like start selling art and stuff through it again and promoting shows. And so through this, I was like, oh my God, I could totally use Instagram like as a tool to like meet new people, and especially artists and bands and musicians. And so I
Hmm.
was discovering all of this like amazing talent, and like some of my friends who had started writing music and who had like started to make little art businesses for themselves, but there weren't really many platforms for them to get out there. And if there were,
Hmm.
or I mean, now I know there are so many, but like at the time when I just started like getting back on Instagram again, I was like, hey, I don't really see many platforms where artists can like, I guess, sell their work and like showcase their work in like
Like
a
a
fun way.
blog or something like that kind of thing.
I guess so. And so like, and I mean, I was like working at a gallery in the Castro, and it was just like a bummer because I was meeting all these artists through that and musicians, and I was like in charge of booking entertainment for that. And it was rough because like I mean the gallery had to survive, but I noticed every time, the gallery has to take a cut of whatever sales are earned for pieces for the
Hmm.
most part. And I was like, man, like if only there was a way for people like just to have, have vendors and just have them keep all of their proceeds. So that's kind of how it started.
Hmm.
And then we had our first event at a local gallery here that like one of my family friends owns. And so I got like a grant to rent it from her, which is really cool. And we had our first event called the Night Market, and it was a lot of fun. We had
Wow.
three, yeah, it was awesome. We had three musicians play, or four, yeah, four, or like, three acts, and
Well,
then
who are the acts, if I may ask?
there was two gals from my school, Jaden and Sienna, and they did like covers of a lot of classic bossa nova tunes,
Ooh.
and just jazz standards, and it was really sweet. And then Virgo Gabrielle, who is amazing, she's based in Sacramento here, or I think Davis, I don't know, somewhere in the Bay, somewhere. And um, who is Nate Boudreau, who is from San Francisco, and it was just a lovely night. Like it was very well received and a lot of fun.
Wow.
It was really cool. And then I
Sounds
guess,
awesome.
yeah, and then like over COVID, I kind of changed, I guess, what Big Leap
Mm.
is a little more because I started to meet more people just, well, first I was like, I want a local emphasis because there's just so much shit happening in the Bay Area. But then I started to meet all of these great independent artists, like without labels or who had just been like completely self-started, who I was
Mm.
really inspired by, who are just from all over the world. And so I decided to kind of change like the mission statement,
Mm. Oh, we've got a
um,
momentary technical
like
difficulty.
ways to support each other and stuff.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. We good?
I think we're good. I missed a little bit of
Solid.
what you were saying right as you said your mission statement.
Oh yeah. We basically changed it around, or we by me, eh, to supporting the independent community just in general, because there's
Mm.
so many great independent artists and musicians out there who just need recognition and are so incredible, but don't have the means or don't have like a label or anything to
Totally.
put themselves out there.
You're maybe one way of putting it would be like you're trying to foster some growth for those on the outs, not outskirts, but like they don't have the funding of a label or the
Yeah,
popularity and attention yet. So they're the sort of beginning stages if you were to, I guess, pursue a music career or an art career. Um, the groundlings almost. I don't know. That
yeah,
sounds
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That's like the
That's sort of what
primary.
we do here a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. That is like, it's amazing. Like, I mean, off the off the air, oh, the radio in me is kicking in. Oh, but like
Mm,
we were talking about like how I love listening, and because this is like everything, like your little podcast is like everything I love and more, because I'm like I love everything about this scene, and like I love the
mm,
people involved and how
totally.
people can just like take an idea and just run with it and make something from it. And
The
just
DIY
the
community, yeah.
DIY community. It's awesome. So what you're doing is very inspiring and
Oh,
very
well,
cool.
thank you so much, Ellie. I appreciate that. I say the same to you. I mean,
Thank you.
I like you sent me those stickers without like we sent a
Oh
couple
yeah.
DMs and
Oh
then I was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm getting some stickers. What?
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
sick.
I forgot about that. It was just little interactions. Hope you like them. I hope
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like
no,
them.
they're awesome. We've got
Ah,
them.
thank you.
I don't know if we've yet to find a home for them. They're like currently just in my bookshelf, just waiting
Nice.
for the right spot to be
Oh yeah.
placed
Oh
because
yeah.
we're not going to be here forever. I don't want to commit it
Exactly.
too soon, but
Exactly.
heck yeah. Well, that sounds awesome. Big leap. But as you were saying with COVID, it sort of has transitioned to a new thing. What was what's that transition been like so far?
Well, I mean, it's been really great. I've just really loved meeting independent artists from all over. Like, I guess I kind of started like in the beginning of quarantine, I kind of discovered I could just like meet people on Instagram, like much like you
Yeah.
and I, which is a very surreal but also a very like interesting and really cool thing when it comes to just being generally in a time that's very isolated and you can't really see anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking, who was it? No, it was through Virgo Gabrielle because we're like kind of buddies now. And
Mm.
she had like reposted this thing from this collective based in South Africa called Big Soko Music. And I was like, that is so cool. So I followed them and I was like, damn, this is super dope. Like they're helping all these unsigned artists just like, get out there, and they have like
Mm.
all these playlists and stuff. And I was like, this is really cool. So I just followed them and started liking their stuff, and then they like responded to one of something I posted on my story one day, and they were like, "Oh my god, I love the work that you do." And so I just started chatting up with the guy who runs it, and his name is Forbes, and I think he's currently based out of Russia, but he was from South Africa.
Whoa.
And Yeah, he introduced me to like all of these amazing artists, and he's been like a great like business mentor, I guess, like it's
Whoa.
it's very it's very wacky like how everything works out, but he's just like a really great human being, and he's just
Mm-hmm.
like he's like has like he was helping me a lot because I'm very interested in like artist management and stuff, and he was like
Mm.
giving me a lot of good insider tips and stuff for that kind of community. And yeah, it was amazing. So and Big Xenon, actually, I put out like an open call for people who wanted to
Mm.
get interviewed. And at first, it wasn't really gaining a lot of steam. There were some local artists who were interested, and I was just like, it'll be a little thing. And then I reached out to him and I was like, hey, like you have a lot of artists behind your collective. Like, if you want to reach out to them and give them this opportunity, that would be amazing. And he was like, sure. And like fucking like 10 people got back to me. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so cool. And so I've gotten to know a lot of them really well. And it's like,
Wow.
it's really cool to like keep up with everybody's work throughout this time. And it's just amazing. It's surreal, but very cool,
Totally. That sounds like quite the international experience you're
Yeah.
having.
Yeah,
All the
it's
way to
it's
South
nuts.
Africa. Wow. I think the farthest I've interviewed someone was they were in New York or something like that. That was like the third interview.
Yeah.
Just some random people I found on Spotify. But that totally, yeah, it's super accurate
Nice.
with Instagram. You can just follow people and they'll follow you back like 50% of the time if you seem like not a random bot account. I feel like
Right,
it's
if you're
like
not like,
if there's
yeah.
some mutuals or whatever, or like you seem like you're in the same field,
Yeah.
um, people seem to be open to that. And that's probably the best thing about Instagram, at least in my opinion, is that opportunity for connections to be made. I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that happened with us as well.
I
It's
know
just like,
exactly.
I
It's
see
like,
you, you see me,
bam.
come on the show or whatever, and
Exactly.
let's do an interview. Because I wanted to expand my horizons as well. Because like plenty of interviews with bands, but what about the people behind the bands?
I
You
know.
know?
That's what I love too. I love that stuff. Like just it's just really cool. It's very cool what you're doing.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, is there what? I'm sorry, I don't actually know. It's like you have a Gooblin,
Grublin. Yeah,
Grublin.
it's the goofiest name.
Well, where
Yeah.
did it come from? Let's just start with that. And what is it?
So I get it's just so funny. I just love it's so funny, like, oh my God. Basically Grublin, I kind of use that as it's like a umbrella term for I guess
Mm.
all the like art and music I do. And when I was little, my dad's a very jolly British man, and when I was little, he would be like I'd make these little sounds like croop croop,
You
and so,
cool.
and so he'd be like, oh, "You're like he just like come up to me and he's like, you're grublin, like look at you grublin all over the, like whatever." It doesn't sound like that at all. I always like over dramatize his accent just because why
That's the
not?
British thing.
Exactly,
Heck yeah.
it's the British thing. So he started calling me a grublin. Later on, I found out that story was actually completely flawed. Okay, just let me know. This actually just cracks me up because for so many years I've like used this little alias and I've been like,
Mm.
oh yeah, it's a cute little backstory, whatever, and it's kind of like goofy and like I don't like to take myself too seriously and it's whatever. But just like a few months ago, my mom was like, that like that's not what happened. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, no, when you were little, like we absolutely hated you because you wouldn't like you like I couldn't shit. Like as a baby I just couldn't shit. So my parents would be like awake like for hours on end trying to make sure that I like took a shit and like didn't like die. And so my mom was like, so we started calling you Grublin because we were just going crazy because we like never got any sleep because you'd make these
Mm.
like really you when you were uncomfortable you'd go group 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 like I was constipated and I was like this is the worst, like I've been telling myself this story for years, like I don't think I made that up. And she's like,
Mm.
well, like the Grublin part is correct. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just so insane. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna try to keep the other story for
Yeah.
face, but I think that it's worth talking about
Yeah,
'cause
this is for
just
the
like
real fans, right?
for
Like
the
maybe
real, yeah,
you
dig
keep the
deep.
nice story for the, the mainstream audience, but for
Exactly.
the
But
insiders can get the truth.
it's just
Um,
so funny. I was like, you just ruined everything. It was excellent. It was so great. I was like, fuck it. Yeah, sure.
that's
I
what it
was
is.
angry.
It sounds kind of like Goblin to me. I'm not gonna lie. When you
It
described like
totally
you're
does.
a little kid or whatever, making your parents miserable.
Exactly. Now it's like Goblin.
Trolls
Yeah.
2 over here.
Trolls
Okay.
2. It was Trolls 2 up in this bitch. Oh my God.
Yes, but Grublin, not Goblin.
Not Goblin.
I'm sorry,
Though
is
I'm kind of a
your
Goblin.
it's your music and your art and your personal art and music stuff, not like it's kind of different than Big Leap Collective, or are they kind of intertwined, mixed together? Is everything all just one beautiful mashing of things and collaboration, or do you like to keep things kind of separated?
I like to keep things kind of separated. I mean, just this is so funny. I was talking to someone about this last night.
Hmm.
Because I just like when I like organize things, I feel like Big Leap is more of like the organizational part in me
Mm.
that likes to, I don't know, just like help other people more. And when I organize events usually, or if I organize events like on my own, I don't like to I don't like to incorporate my art or music into it for the most part, or mostly my
Hmm.
music, sometimes my art. But it's just funny because like whenever I organize things, people are like, "Why don't you play?" And I'm like, I don't know. I just have like a weird thing where
Mm.
I don't really like. I like to keep them separated because I don't really know what it is, but
Is it
it's
like
like,
insider trading? It's like you're not allowed to
it's like,
promote
oh, I'm
yourself on
giving
your promotion.
right. It's like I'm giving myself an opportunity. It's like I'm not building the platform to like promote myself because like
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's
Like I
not
can.
about you.
It's not about you. So yeah. So yeah, I like to keep them separate, and so I
Okay.
have Grublin like my art and my music, and then Big Leap Collective is just for
Hmm.
other folks, and I just like to oversee it and
I see.
organize
I
things.
see.
Yeah.
Um, so I do have a quote here that I found on the website that I'm just going to throw at you, and I want you to give me your best interpretation of
Okay.
what it means.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay. This self-proclaimed arty shizbiz is a website devoted to a few ultra fest TM art and music whatchamacallits, all run by Ellie Stokes.
Oh
What?
yeah. Those
I'm
that's
sorry.
like
Go
that's
ahead. Go.
that's a whole sentence of Ellieisms.
Mm.
It's just oh my god. I just like I have a whole other language for myself, I feel like. Yeah. It's just in English is just this website is for Grublin and Big Leap Collective.
Boom.
Boom.
Thank you. What is Ultrafest? That's what I didn't
It's
like.
like a fest. I guess
Festival?
like fest, like festive. I don't know.
Oh,
I people who
I
know me,
see.
I say fest, like, oh, that's so fest, in response to things all the time. See, I have a whole other fucking language.
It's like
It's just
fetch, but like
it's like
better or
yeah,
worse.
it's like fest, like short for festive. If you're feeling extra
Hmm.
festive, you spell it with a ph.
I see.
Um, if you're feeling, if you're just like if you're like humble festive, it's just with an f.
I see. Is this something that like is all year round? Because like you're talking about festive things in not October. October's festive, I guess. Not
Oh, it was festive.
July,
Dude, yeah, no,
May.
every year, every day can be festive. And that
You
is
heard
my
it here
paid.
first,
You
folks.
heard it here first. Every
With an
day
S.
can be
Boom.
festive. Bam.
Um, next question. I'm sorry, I didn't have to shout. Next question. Is there a limit on how many links you can have on a link me website or whatever? What is it called?
And the
Linktree?
link tree,
Yes, we're not
I
sponsored
know.
by Linktree.
Hashtag link tree. Jesus. Yeah, that is a great question because I just put everything on there.
There's
That
nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to roast you or anything. I
Oh
apologize
no,
if that's.
no, don't worry. And even
It's
if you
just
were,
humor.
I get it because I'm just like, I have like a fucking Weebly website that's like the like shittiest tier of websites, so I get it.
Mm,
But
hell
yeah,
yeah.
I know, right? I'd like to know if there's actually a max. I'd like to know that actually. That'd be
You
interesting.
could try and go for the max. You
I
know,
mean,
like
I think I could. I think I could.
you could then say your like Instagram description is like home of the longest link tree
Link tree.
with the most leaves because it's a tree. Get it? Ha, ha, ha.
Exactly, is with the branches and
Yeah.
leaves.
I guess it
Beautiful.
more looks like just like a giant stump if you think about it, but whatever. I don't know.
Link
Um,
stump.
but yeah, there's a lot of links in there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
click on it. I'm just gonna pick a random one, and then
All
just
right.
tell me. Uh, actually, I'm not gonna pick a random one. There's definitely one that I wanted to talk about, and that would be the artists interviewing artists, the
Oh
artist
yeah.
review artists. thing that you have going on. What prompted that idea? How did you get to doing that?
Well, that was actually I credit them on the website. That was Big Soko. That was Forbes. That I was talking about.
Oh,
And we talked about that and I was
oh,
like,
jeez.
and he was like, "Hey, could we like, collaborate on some ideas?" And I was like, "Totally." And so I was like talking about how much I admired him doing his artist reviews artist thing. And I was like, that would be
Mm.
really cool to bring that to the Bay. And he was like, "Oh my God, go for it. Like this, like I would love for you to do that, go put it out there." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I was like, "I'm just gonna credit you on everything though, because like it's a really good idea, and I don't want people to be like, Ellie, you're such a genius."
Well,
So I was like, and he was like, "No, don't worry about like crediting me or whatever." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm gonna fucking credit you. Like, come on." I mean, it's so yeah, I got that from him. Just because it's like it's such an awesome idea, and I think that it's very beneficial too for people like especially like up and coming musicians and artists who want to this is what like someone just mentioned this to me recently and they were like, "Hey, you could totally use this for like a press kit, like a quote from
mm,
another artist, like another musician." And I was like, "Oh my God, totally could." So
yeah.
um it's kind of like cool little, building each other up, and you could also use it for your press kit or whatever you want to do with it.
It helps with the promo, one more
Exactly,
link
yeah.
to say, hey, this person's legit or whatever.
Exactly, exactly.
They'll improve your SEO ratings if we're going to get crazy technical.
Oh yeah.
um,
Optimize.
hell yeah. So how long have you guys been doing it then? I'm on the page here and I see the credit for
There's a credit.
Boko.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, it started I think in the summertime. I don't know when exactly, but pretty early on in the summertime, I believe. Yeah, pretty
and
early
what
on.
was the responses so far? Like, it seems like I saw the most recent one, which looked really
Yeah,
dope, but that was the only one I could find. Now, I'll be honest, this sounds like I didn't do my research, and that's because there was so many things that
there's
I
just
kind
so
of just
much.
rabbited hold for like a little bit, and then I was like, wait, we'll see how it goes during the interview. But I definitely want to commend you for at least adapting, even if it wasn't your idea, which doesn't matter. I don't. Who owns ideas? I mean,
Yeah, true.
this interview thing that I did is like not like unique or original to anything, so I don't see why you should worry too much about being those things. But anywho,
Yeah.
do want to give you credit for at least doing
Thank
it
you.
because that's actually what matters.
Thank you.
Um,
Ow. I appreciate it.
I, on a way, kind of want to tie that into some questions that are actually meant for the hot take section of this.
Hot takes.
But rather
Okay.
than holding this podcast to a specific linear format, why don't we just get into it right freaking now?
Let's get it.
I'm gonna read this quote for quote. Dealing with haters. Is there such thing as an unfair comparison? For
Ooh.
example, if you made music like Alex G, is it, you know, okay to be upset that people compare you to Alex G?
Hmm.
Sorry, this is a ridiculous question.
I'd say I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to be passive and say the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But
Mm,
people sometimes do get upset with certain comparisons. So I guess it depends on the comparison
I
beam.
guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, the thing that kind of confuses me, I guess, is I don't see like so there's two kind of I think arguments that one could have, and it's like, oh, you're saying I'm not original by comparing me to someone else that I sound
Right, right,
familiar to, and so you're discrediting my hard work because it's like
right. There's that
the,
whole deal.
the derivativeness, but
But
then
nothing's very original, to be
music
honest.
especially.
Exactly. Yeah, there's like nothing's very original at this point.
And
I
if it
mean,
was, we probably wouldn't listen to it anyways.
yeah, I'd be like, what is this bullshit? What is this?
You
What?
just
Something
did
new?
some, yeah.
No way.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just worry that like, would you be offended if someone said your music sounded like someone else's music? I guess that should be like the question I'm trying to ask here.
I'd say no. I mean, because people have compared my music to other people, like a big one's like Fiona Apple, and I'm like, yeah, like I love her, hell yeah. And
That's awesome.
so yeah, so I mean, I guess it depends. I guess it depends
Hmm.
on who, but like I'm like, okay, cool, like I think she's a badass. I mean, you
But
know.
then if someone was like, "You sound like Jack Johnson,"
Fucking Jack Johnson, man. I'd just be confused. I'd be like, say what? I'd be like, you know what, you're entitled to your own opinion, for sure.
there it is. It always that does probably happen though, right? It's like kind of
Yeah.
unexpected compare. What's like the? Have you ever received a weird comparison that you can remember?
No, I mean, I get a lot of people saying, oh, I don't know. So at one point I was playing like on the street and someone yelled out their car window, Tori Amos. And I was like, it's just because I have red hair. Like I'm pretty sure that's only the reason why. But I was
There
just
it
like,
is.
ha, funny, you know?
Got him.
Funny. Got him.
Got him. Um, perfect. Perfect answer to an imperfect question. But now we both sort of are in the scene of the Bay Area, and there's a lot of sort of sections involved within. I feel
Yeah,
like you got the SF scene, you've got the Oakland scene, and the East Bay-ish scene, South Bay,
right.
whatever south of San Francisco. I don't know what you call that. I guess maybe South Bay as well, and then North Bay, which I don't even like. That's
Yeah, what is I don't know.
where's the music in North Bay? I don't. No one
I'd
even has
like to
ever
know,
come out of the woodwork yet. At least I've
right?
talked to people from the South Bay at this point.
Yeah.
Um, is do you think we could like come up for like an artist, maybe they're touring artist, is there like a circuit we could create, like a live session circuit, or like a like if you were to imagine, because you seem to know about more stuff than even I do, which I don't know actually that much, it seems like, because the Bay is just so vast.
It's so
there's,
vast.
there's so
It's
many freaking
insane.
bands. But if you were to like, if someone touring in the Bay Area was coming over here, what would you recommend to them? I guess pre-COVID like venues, and then post-COVID like live
Ooh.
sessions.
I mean, I guess it depends because I really don't know of many venues. I mean, I know of some Oakland venues. But
Mm.
in the South Bay, I'm not really sure, though I'm starting to like
Well,
I've
just do
started
what you
to
can. You don't
let
have
let's
to.
see.
There's no perfect
Um
answer.
well, just I guess naturally if you're coming to SF, I think the Honey Hive is a great touring venue for
Mm.
just everyone. Or Bottom of the
Yes,
Hill. I mean there are honestly so many, but
we shout
I
them
feel
out
like
every episode.
yes, Honey Hive, baby. Yeah, Honey Hive, or the flippin' if you're over 21, Makeout Room. It's amazing.
I've
Uh,
never actually been to that venue. I've heard of it, but
it's so nice. It's so nice. And
for
then
some reason,
the
nobody I know
Knockout
plays there.
too. The Knockout is a great little
Mm.
spot for I feel like touring venues for touring bands. Yeah, in at least in SF. But I mean, yeah, if you're not of age, definitely Honey Hive and Bottom of the Hill. And in Oakland, oh man. See, I only really know of 924 Gilman.
That's
Um,
okay.
but Gilman's so great. Like it is such a lovely spot. And
It's really
yeah.
the only official venue in at least Berkeley.
Yeah,
Oakland, there
exactly.
is
Yeah.
definitely stuff, but that's like the Starline Social Club, and those are
Starline,
like
yeah, and like
probably
there's like
like if,
Eli's or some yeah, like
yeah, Eli's
yeah.
Makeout Room. I don't know if
Oh,
that's
Ivy
actually
Room.
still
There's
around. Or
Ivy Room.
shouts
Which
to
is
Berkeley.
very cool. Yeah, Berkeley. Um and yeah, I was just there like this weekend, so I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
remember all these places." Like, whoa.
You
Um
were in Berkeley, or you were at the Ivy Room? One of the.
no, I was in Berkeley, but I remember the Ivy Room, and also there was some other place where I saw a band play. Don't remember what it's called, but it was a cute little loungy area. Um
Mm.
but
Oh,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
I forgot what it's called. I saw like my uncle's gypsy jazz band
That
play.
sounds, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like an adult
Yes.
musicians.
Yes. It's like a little adult. It's like yeah. It's like a
It's on
nice.
University or
Yeah, it's on
whatever.
University, I think.
I actually saw a band there play too. Good
Nice.
times.
Look at that. Look at that.
Anywho, but live sessions though. I
Live
feel like we've seen
sessions,
such an expansion in that. Are you
right?
like, just throw out some names for me, because I feel like I only know of a few at this point, but I feel like there's more.
Well, I feel like I gotta plug kxsf. because we do live sessions every Sunday,
Heck
and
yeah.
those are always very cool. I'm co-producing that, so I'm hoping
Nice.
that like after COVID and stuff, it would be really great to get in touring musicians, kind of like KEXP
Mm.
does in Seattle. But
Ah.
it's always a great time, and it's always like a really fun
Do
opportunity.
you do
And
interviews with those people? I'm sorry if I feel dumb, but like
no, you're
for some.
good. No, you're good. Sometimes I do. And
Hmm.
sometimes I'm on the production crew, so I film.
Okay.
Do some of
But
that.
there is like there's like the structure is like interview, music,
Hmm.
interview, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they
okay.
like yeah, people like they prepare like a 7 or 8 song set usually. And
Oh
then
wow.
we do like interview, it's like for an hour, it's from 2 to 3. And then we broadcast it on the air and we do little interviews in between. Or what's been happening more recently is people play through their set and then there's like a 20-minute interview after.
Hmm.
Um it just depends on the DJ who's hosting, but it's so much fun. And I feel like it's a great opportunity for people as well. Um
How would someone get involved? Like if you were a local musician or a touring musician, and you were interested in doing this. Is there an email you want to plug or
Yeah, I
an
mean, you can
Instagram or whatever?
always reach out to me at Ellie is Grublin, and also we usually respond pretty quick on Instagram at kxsf radio. But usually, like recently, we've been gaining more steam because it's like not many people have a lot of performance
Hmm.
opportunities right now, so we're pretty booked. But we're working on like our 2021 winter season lineup and stuff, so
Okay.
it'll be
Heck
cool.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
And
Well,
also
keep
I
going.
yeah, we got for like sessions, Music City is really cool. And
Are they currently doing sessions or are
I think
they
they're doing little at home sessions, so they have people like send in videos. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were doing that for a while.
Hmm.
Um got to plug the Complex too.
Hmm.
They're doing that. Love them. They're really cool. And Twin Peaks.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Michael
Yes, that's
Donnelly.
another in one of interviews of yours that I watched because Mike,
Ah, that's
he's
the
really
most
cool. I love his
he
stuff.
really helped, like he promoted the crap out of it for me and I was so
What a dude.
flabbergasted. So thank you Michael,
Aw.
officially on the pod.
Shout out Michael.
The
You're
homie
really cool.
is a dope human being. But yeah, I'll shout out B-Sides in Berkeley. It's a college
B-sides.
run.
That's what you were talking about on the last thing, weren't you? Or yeah, I think you were talking about that on one of your episodes. You were talking
Yeah,
about
on
B-sides.
Paper House.
Yes, and I was trying to look it up. I couldn't. Well, anyway,
Berkeley
you
B-Sides.
can
Their
do it.
YouTube
Berkeley
channel
B-sides.
is hard to find. I'll be honest. I've
Mm,
struggled to find it on YouTube as well, but their Instagram, I think, is the key to finding it. But
got
they
you.
just got started, and that was the first one I know of in Berkeley that's happening. Because like everything is in SF as far as live sessions that I can
Yeah,
think of. It'd be
I'm pretty
cool if there
sure.
was more expansive. Like, what about someone's backyard? You know, like
Yeah. Oh, another one I want to shout out. He works at the makeout room. His name is Justin. He's a very kind guy. He gave me some pomegranates when we
nice.
were filming there for KXSF for our benefit show. And he's doing this thing called the Sad Bastard Club
Whoa.
where he does interviews. It's so awesome. He does interviews like from the makeout room with like mostly singer-songwriters like in the local area, and
Mm-hmm.
then they play a few songs and he like makes them a little podcast and he puts them up on YouTube.
Fuck
Shout him
yeah.
out. Yeah, it's very cool. I
There
really
seems
love it.
like there's so much content actually these days.
So
Everyone is
much. I know. It's
in the Twitch
awesome.
streams and all that, and
Oh my god, totally.
it's so freaking beautiful to see that people are adapting to COVID. Which perfect segue.
Same.
Well, I put out a poll the other day that was like, "Is it whack?" Now this was a kind of a confusing thing because I was talking about comedians doing shows
Yeah.
because there's like I follow a few comedians and I watch their stories and they'll be posting like, "Yo, they're playing a show outside this venue. It's open air, it's outside, in the cold, and they're doing these shows." But I don't really see musicians doing that kind of thing,
Yeah.
which I guess it's like to me, I haven't made like a choice because it's like it's difficult for me to be like, it's safe. Like I can't make that call. I think the individual has to. If
Right.
you want to go to a show, that's your call and everything, and especially now that COVID has just ballooned in the
Yep.
winter,
Yeah.
which is super sad. But yeah, we got a lot of responses. 42 people said it was whack that people were doing shows, and then 20 people said it was chill or it was safe. Based on what I was able to discern, it was like the musicians seemed generally down, and it
Right.
was, it
Yeah,
was
that's
chill.
interesting.
And
Like
then
I
like
don't get that.
the
Yeah.
normies, they were the ones on the other side. You know, it's like,
Right.
which
The normies.
I don't want to call them. Well, yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
said
I know.
musicians. I didn't say the survey was exclusive for musicians, and a bunch of people tried to sway the vote that weren't really participating in
Fake.
musicianship. But anywho, I actually have some photos I can pull up as well because there's people's specific responses. I guess I'll just shout them out, and then you want to give me your take on it.
Yeah.
We'll see how
Hot
it
takes.
goes.
Hot takes, baby.
Just learning how to do content on the fly. Okay. Humans are trash. No one deserves to live. Let's
Whoa.
laugh and listen to music while we burn. And this person voted it's safe.
Wow. Oh my God. That's a very intense statement, buddy. Wow. That's very intense.
If you want to pass, I'll
I mean,
I'll give you some passes.
I mean, we humans aren't the best, but I feel like we still have a right to protect each other in this time. Like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah, that one would seem like my most extreme one. Most people were sort of explaining to me that like people want to mosh when they see music, man. They want to dance.
People want to dance, dude. Well, people could still dance safely. Like I did, just over the weekend, I did like I opened for like a social distance show for a band here called Dogs That Bite, who were doing their album release in Oakland.
Mm.
And I mean, it was like, it was at first I was like, I wonder how social distance is going to be, but it was totally fine. It was through like this brewery called Ale Industries, and it was great. Like people were still dancing, but everybody stayed 6 feet apart. Everybody kept their masks on. Like
Mm.
all the bands, like we all kept our masks on, and I was like, oh, this is, like it was good, and there wasn't like a shit ton of people, and I feel like
Mm.
that was helpful too. I mean, it was still like a lot of people, but it wasn't like like it could have been like edged on dangerous, but everyone was
Mm.
very respectful and safe. And there was like, people sanitized and stayed their distance. But I was like, I feel like this is, I was like, they have like a show next month, December. Oh my God, time
Mm-hmm.
flies. But
Wow.
like I wonder if they're not going to be able to do it because like things are
The
getting shut down again.
lockdown.
Yeah. So
The
I don't know,
impending
but
lockdown.
people were still like dancing and stuff. Like I look back on some videos and people were like standing in the back dancing like 6 feet apart. And I'm like, so that's, there's still a way around it, but
Mm-hmm.
I know it's harder for the punk scene, mosh scene.
Yes. If I were to go back to this list of responses, that kind of sums up a lot of them, to be honest. It's just people being like, they want no rubbing shoulders.
No
And,
rubbing shoulders.
oh man, everyone's far away, that kind of thing. And then these number of people also just were like, I'm uncomfortable about all social interaction. And I was like, that's fair.
That is
Um,
fair. That is fair.
What would be your sort of recommendations as someone that is a both musician and a community member? I don't know, what's a
Yeah.
good term for like event organizer,
Yeah, I guess, yeah, event organizer. I guess so. Yeah.
person that does the administration of music stuff?
Yes.
What would be your recommendation to these musicians in 2020 and soon to be 2021 trying to stay positive, keep, the some level of production, some level of activity while, maintaining safety, maintaining in coordinates with the law and all of that good stuff. Any thoughts, any ideas for people?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like it's very tricky because I feel like, and we were kind of talking about this, if you put on like an outdoor show, it's great when everybody adheres, but if everyone doesn't, or if there are like
Mm,
a few people that don't, like you were saying, like only takes like one person to spread it.
yeah.
And it's not sometimes, I mean, no, not sometimes, it's just not worth the risk,
Hmm.
especially now when things are a little more hefty. But I mean, I think there are like lots of opportunities for people out there to, do live streams, even if it's just going on fucking Instagram live and making it like a big thing,
Mm.
making it Ultra Fest TM. To like, put some stuff out there. I mean, like this is the perfect time to start creating content, kind of like what you're doing, just generally, to explore
Mm.
different like, things that you're
Get
curious about.
creative.
Get creative. And yeah, I mean, and sometimes there's the opportunity to
Do
do
that.
like a live show or whatever. And I mean, I guess it just depends on how safe it seems, and
Mm.
the amount of people involved. I mean, I know that like things are kind of making a little bit of a comeback, I guess, in the live scene, like, and in a new way.
Mm.
Like there are like drive-in concerts happening, but that's kind of rough for people who don't have cars. It's
Oh,
kind of
not
rough
not
with the
happening in
access.
SF.
Yeah,
I feel
not
like.
no. And it's like it's hard with the, with accessibility and stuff. But
Mm.
I feel like I mean, it's just wild. Like this is all happening when we have the internet and our friggin' like
Mm.
smartphones. We live in like the digital age. So we have so many options and opportunities. And I feel like it's not that like they're not that hard to find if you just really, look into it. And
Hmm.
yeah. It's tricky though. It's very tricky.
I think the only thing that kind of worries me is not worries me, I suppose, but it's like if you aren't the most connected, networked,
Yeah, if you're not
person, and you don't have your backyard with some recording equipment all set up and a camera, it's kind of difficult to do the live session on your own. You sort of have to
exactly.
know
That's
somebody.
true.
I wish there was maybe like a system in which people could more easily like get connected with that kind of thing.
Like a forum or something. Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't
people.
know. That's where I had this sort of idea earlier, and I'm called it the circuit. But like it'd be
Ooh,
kind of interesting if I wonder if we could create some sort of website or something and that would allow people in the Bay Area, like bands, to easily like request to play any live session within like a 25-mile radius. It's like you just send them an email or something. You say like what you talk about your music, and then potential live session coordinators
that would
can
be
like
really cool.
peruse. Yeah, they can go ahead.
No, that would be amazing. That's like an awesome idea. That would, yeah, just a way for
Imagine
people
just
to get
like
connected.
a circuit too, which is weird, but like
Yeah,
it's like not a competition necessarily, but it's like I'm gonna be here on Tuesday and then there on Thursday, and then like do like a couple, like two or three of them, sort of like a tour kind of experience. But I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with some sort of creative idea
no, that's
to a
very
thing.
cool. That would be very helpful. I've been trying to like, I guess, set something up kind of like that with Big Leap, but
Mm.
I mean, I'm trying in like 2021 to do like Big Leap Radio because I have a radio show like twice ish a week sometimes. Like I have it every
Hmm.
other Wednesday and then every Sunday. And I could just, I was like, I can just bring people on and do interviews and little live sessions with them, just like over Zoom or
Mm.
something. And, especially for the independent community. So I'm looking into doing that. But there needs to be that like an actual like solidified platform for that. I totally
Mm.
agree. That's
It
hard
would.
without equipment and stuff.
It is super difficult. Because it's like I know lots of bands that are like maintaining some. They're like writing right now, but they've sort of hibernated on the whole doing live sessions because they just don't have the connections. No one's asking them to play their live session because they
Yeah,
don't. Because but let's be honest. I mean, you don't have to be honest, but this is my opinion. That like as much as the music scene is an amazing thing, it's also very clicky to a degree, or
hmm,
there is a lot of sort of community boundaries, which aren't inherently wrong or bad. It's just it really helps to know people, and like if you don't know
it's very
people,
helpful. Yeah.
you don't even know where to look. You don't know where to start. So it'd be kind of nice if there was a like a platform for people, as you said, to get connected with that whole world. Who knows? Maybe we'll start it. Maybe
Who
I'll start.
knows?
I don't.
I know.
The opportunities
The
are always
future.
brimming. Um,
The future.
you said you wanted to start a radio, your like own radio station. Well,
Or no, just no, like a radio show on the station.
mm,
Just because I have that platform, and like the station's getting bigger, I guess.
I
And
see.
so I feel like that would be a good place to start for people who are independent or who just like want to try out some material, you know?
Is so like a sort of like a level one to like the current live session going on at the radio station that you work at,
Yeah,
or
yeah. I mean, I guess so. I was thinking about having it be like a mix of interviews and then like people
mm,
playing live, or then doing like radio concerts, like radio festivals. So have people like, I don't know. I have like the whole idea in my
radio?
head. I have
Yeah.
so many fucking ideas. It's like I don't know. Like I was thinking about having people like we because I like do everything over Zoom, you know, as you
Hmm.
do. And I think it would be
Right
great
now.
to just exactly right now. Shout out Zoom, endorsed. But doing things where it's like having multiple people on during a show for like an hour and doing like a festival of people. So I have like
Mm,
independent artists. So like, you know, just filtering them through the Zoom chat room on the air, you know, and having them play live or something. Um,
hmm.
something like that.
Huh.
Yeah, something like that. There are some great open mics, like virtual open mics that I know for people to kind of put their foot in.
We need to create a virtual open mic list. Oh my gosh.
I know. No, there's also okay. I'm just gonna plug them real quick. There's NEX Means. They're really good. They have a virtual open mic. I think they just did their last one of the year though, but they're really worth checking out. They're really cool. And Shady Pines Radio, which is a little like virtual radio station in Portland that I
Mm,
found. They are very sweet and they are very accommodating for especially up and coming artists for playing their tracks on the radio. And they used to do an open mic every week. I think they're about to get back into that again. I'm not really sure. But yeah, those are two. Those are two.
okay.
Wham
Two
bam.
is plenty. I had zero
Bam.
off the top of my head. I mean, I know I've seen some Facebook stuff, but it was not like consistent or anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
man, I had a good question and then I forgot what it was.
Ah,
Damn.
nuts.
We'll just sit here and stare at each other until I figure out what it was. And by stare at each other, I mean I look in the camera and it makes it
Right.
seem like
It
I'm
makes it
looking
seem
at.
like we're looking at each other.
There's really
Because
no eye contact happening at all.
there's zero eye contact. I'm sure of it.
But yeah, so oh yeah, that was my thing. What is your take on like specific live stream platforms in that sort of world? Because Instagram Live is an option, but it's definitely, in my opinion, the worst
It's pretty bad.
option.
It's pretty bad. I mean, that's like I've used to do live streams like in the beginning of quarantine for Big
Hmm.
Leap on Instagram Live, and it's just a mess. Like, just to be honest, it's just a mess. Like, I was doing like a festival of like music videos and live show videos from local bands and stuff,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was just very difficult. It was very difficult to operate. People were very appreciative and like tuned in, but I was like, this is not the best, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Instagram Live is way down there on the list. For me, I guess I'm moving into doing a lot of YouTube stuff,
Ooh.
but mostly pre-recorded. I still have to figure out actually live streaming, but it's kind of sometimes like if you get into a troubleshooting issue, it's kind of hard to navigate and get out of. So
Hmm.
I just kind of like to take the easy way out and do like pre-recorded and make it look all pretty and then do like a YouTube premiere and then do all that
Mm.
stuff. But I mean, Twitch seems to work very well, and I mean, I haven't used it, but I mean, it seems like the ultimate thing, you know? Like, there's so many people who use it and like they produce like content that's like a TV show, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, it's really good.
If you have the budget and the know-how, it's super. I guess it's a powerful tool, powerful
Powerful
platform,
platform.
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 9 3/4. That was a Harry Potter reference.
That was good. That was good. I just
I'm
got
sorry.
that.
I don't even. Not a Harry Potter person, but Twitch. Yeah, no, it's. I tried this show actually initially on Twitch. I streamed the first 2 or 3 episodes live, and then also recorded it and put it on YouTube later. But the difficulty with Twitch is if you don't have the technical know-how, it's kind of difficult to make it look good, which you were
Mm-hmm.
mentioning about YouTube, and then um, nobody watches it if
Yeah,
you're
it
not
depends if you're not really, yeah,
if you don't
it's
have a
hard.
platform like. And I think like I'd have to interview someone like actually genuinely, I don't want to say famous, but like, they have a
They have like a following. Yeah.
following, whereas most people I interview are up and coming people that either that's not their goal to have a following, or they're just not there yet. But getting people to actually watch a Twitch interview has was a struggle in the beginning. So I just axed that.
Nice.
This has all been
Yeah.
a sort of experimental experience. Um, but yeah, I do think people should try things out and give it a shot. Unfortunately, it feels like that isn't happening as much on Twitch. It's not as music oriented. But
Yeah.
imagine just putting like not KQ, KUSF. Is that the name of the radio station? I'm sorry, it's
Okay,
KX.
XSF.
F
Yeah.
at SF. Okay,
SF.
my dyslexia is coming out. The
That's fine.
community radio, which I kind of also feel like at some point we should talk about, because like it's something that I feel like people don't actually know that much about, and there's a worthy amount of information to be
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities
expelled.
through it. Yeah, for sure.
How did you get involved?
It was actually through Fantasy Spiders.
Ah,
We played a session there, like a live session, I think about a year ago, which is
wow.
really wild. And so we did that, and I just kind of started following them on Instagram and all that good stuff. And then in the beginning of quarantine, I did a mostly like youth artist and musician focused live stream, and they tuned in. And then I like posted a little recap video, and I was like, "Hey, thank you for joining me, yada yada." And the station manager, Guillermo, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, this was really cool. Like, you have a great personality." He's like, "How would you feel about doing interviews on our Instagram Live and having a radio show?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, buddy!" It
Whoa.
was really cool. And so I started out because I this was like when COVID was a very unfamiliar thing, and I wasn't
Hmm.
really sure like the extent of how safe things were.
The
And
lockdown length.
yeah, yeah. And so I was like, I don't know if I feel, because I had to come in to do like actually physically go into the station to do a training and stuff. And I
Mm.
was like, I don't know how I feel about that right now. And he's like, okay, well, in the meantime, how about you do Instagram interviews with bands? And I was like, that sounds awesome. So I started doing those, and I did those like once a week. I think it was like every Monday for a couple of weeks. And then COVID got to be less of a scary thing. And I was like, you know what? I think it'll be fine if I just do it and go to the station, wear a mask. Been fine ever since. And yeah, that's just kind of how it got started. And then
Mm.
I had my first official show on Mother's Day, which was very sweet. My mom came in
Wow.
and we boogied down in the radio station. And
Hmm.
yeah, I've just been doing it ever since. It's a really great little community. It's very fun.
That's awesome. You kind of got you got picked out of the crowd there a little bit.
It was
That's
very
quite the.
surreal. I was like, wow, wow,
Well, it
thank
just goes
you.
to show doing stuff, people will notice it, even if it's not the world, but,
Yeah,
it's the
I mean,
right people.
even if it's like one person, like that's
Exactly.
it can like you never know where life is going to take you. Like I never thought I would be a radio DJ, or I would like actually try to pursue what I'm pursuing now.
Mm.
And it's like, what? Like, it's very wacky, but it's very cool.
Well, may I ask, like, what's your major right now? What are you doing in school, if you had?
Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to get a degree, honestly.
Mm.
And I mean, I did, just to make everything a little more bearable, I'm working on getting an artist management certificate from Berkeley
Oh,
online school. So that's like a
nice.
couple of different courses that I just take online. And then
Mm.
I'm also just trying to fulfill some basic requirements that I missed at City College. So I'm just like doing those. But I mean, I'm just doing I guess school's like not really my number one thing. Like
Mm.
I'm working a lot of little gigs here and there. I'm working like an event support job for a gallery right now. As they're trying to move events into being safer for COVID-19. And then I'm also working at a circus and a museum, um,
Wow.
which is really crazy.
Circus.
Yeah, it's insane. It's just such a wild time. It's a lot of fun though. And then radio station, and then just trying to work on Big Leap as much as I can, and
Sounds like you have a
nannying a
lot
kid.
going
Yeah,
on.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's very overwhelming. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm a very overwhelming person, just inadvertently, I just do like a lot of stuff. I don't know how to say
Um,
no. It's bad. It's bad, but it's good, like it'll
I
pay
see.
off.
Okay. Well, I guess two things that I got out of that I'm kind of curious about is A, what's that like certificate program? Because I've also this I don't talk about it that much on this show, but I pseudo manage some bands. I don't say I really
Oh, cool.
manage them, but I've
Oh, so look at that.
pseudo like really just hey, play this show, you know,
Yeah.
apply for this live session thing. But what's that class been like, or that certificate program been like? Has it been meaningful for you? Have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. It's very interactive too, the way that they go about it. And the I feel like because we do live classes once a week, sometimes I miss them because they're based in Boston, and it's at like 7 in the morning, and I'm like working late the night before, and I'm like, I
Mm,
can't go. But it's very rewarding, and it's really cool too, because like it's not a class. It's like a class filled with just people of all age ranges and backgrounds, and from people from all over the world.
mm-hmm.
And that's been really beneficial for me. Like I've started taking classes for it over the summer, and I actually met like a few people who I included in Big Zenon through it. Like this guy who
Nice.
owns a venue in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and I was like, this
Whoa.
is so cool. So we got connected through that, and yeah, I mean, honestly, you just never know how like where life takes you. But it's very
Mm.
fun. I'm just like, wow, I'm learning something I really enjoy, and like that can actually be applied to what I'm doing. So that's very rewarding, and I'm so grateful for that.
Was that something you just kind of like? How did you find out about the program? Because I see ads on my phone that are like
Yeah.
4 week data entry or not data entry,
Yeah, it's like
data
some
analytics and that.
yeah,
And
some yeah.
I've gotten some Berkeley stuff as well, or like some sort of online music program stuff.
Right. I mean, it's just so funny because I've been very anti Berkeley for like a long time, just because I don't know, like some of the things I've heard from people I mean, it's like I guess it just depends on what your experience is like, but like from a few people I know who have gone there are just like, it's way too expensive, and like it's not worth it. But I mean, those are all the in-person classes. Like,
Mm,
I'm doing a lot of the and like that's not to diss them like at all, like
yeah.
I mean, it whatever. It was a diss, I guess, but that's just from what I've heard. And so
Mm,
but I mean, I found out through one of my friends who is, I guess, currently playing bass in my little Grublin combo. And he started taking some classes online, and he was like, they're actually really fun, and I'm learning a lot. And I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I guess I might as well give it a shot. Like I have some
yeah.
money saved up. I mean, it's something I'm interested in. Like what's the harm? And so
Yeah.
I took it, and I was like, I really enjoy them. So
Wow.
yeah, it's very cool. It's really fun.
Is there like, this is ridiculous of a question, but like what's like the most important insight that you've learned so far from the class? Is that a question you can answer even? If not, we
Ooh,
can move on. But
I feel like I kind of have yet to learn, but I mean, definitely making just I guess I feel like it's at least so far the hunch I get is like I guess like really valuing the connections that you make, and
mm,
just getting to know people. I mean, just it's as simple as just asking someone like what they're up to, and like what their experience in this thing is, or I mean, because you never know, and
totally.
there's just people are very interesting, especially artists, and so I don't know, that's something I've learned to really appreciate, is just like exploring what people do.
100%. It seems like in a lot of ways those classes, at least, okay, I can't speak for Berkeley, but I took a community college music industries course last
Hmm.
semester, and don't want to say I learned a huge amount, but it
Right.
was more so like, if I wanted to, this would have been an opportunity to network with people,
Yeah,
and
if anything, it's an opportunity to network.
mostly motivation as well. I'll be honest, my teacher mostly just gave motivational speeches, but that's useful still
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you want to get stuff done or whatever.
You're right.
But hell yeah, shout outs to online and just general music industry courses.
Yes. And to the community colleges as well.
Yes. The
Love
shout
them.
outs to DVC. Save your money.
Save your
Uh,
money. Go to city college. Do it.
well, we mentioned fantasy spiders earlier. Do you want to like what's going on with that? We could just real quick. Like, is that band still a band?
Yeah, I mean we're still a band. We just haven't practiced for since the lockdown, just because
Mm,
it's not like, safe enough for us all to get together yet. And also like our bassist, she like lives with older people, and so it's like it's just very, it's like we just want everyone to be safe. Um
of
Pretty much.
course.
But yeah, we're still doing the thing. It's
Mm,
kind of rough though. I mean, I feel like everything kind of happens for a reason. And I mean, for like, which sometimes is awful, but sometimes it leads to, positive change. And yeah, I mean, we were gonna like go on tour and stuff like in
wow.
June, and we're gonna like hit. I think we're gonna hit some places in Portland, in LA, and
The
Long
classic.
Beach. Yeah, just like Bay
West
Area,
Coast.
West Coast tour. Yeah, and so yeah, but I mean, it didn't end up happening, of course. But
Rest in peace,
um,
every single tour.
rest in peace, every tour. My heart is with you. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, yeah, we were just like in the early stages of planning it, but we were like, it was so much fun to do
Mm,
shows. And yeah, we have those 3 demos up on Bandcamp if anyone wants to listen. We were going to record more. But yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on when things get a little more safer,
yeah.
and we'll get back into it. Start
Were you
musicking.
doing interviews and that kind of thing before you started performing and doing music live, or did one thing, or was it the other way around, where music led to doing the interviews and stuff like that?
Yeah, music led to doing the interviews. I started doing the interviews like in the beginning of COVID.
Hmm.
Yeah. See.
What's
Yeah.
that been like? Do you like doing interviews? What's your take on it?
I love doing interviews. It's so much fun. Like it's just so great to like learn about people more. And just I don't know, like it's just like I've been talking to people, some people who I've just idolized since I was like young, just their music and just in general, or
Hmm.
and it's just really cool to actually get to talk to them. I'm like, how freaking awesome is this? Like I get to actually have like a human connection. I mean, as much of a human connection we can have over Zoom, right?
Hmm.
But like um yeah, it's just amazing. Like I love it so much. It's just really cool. I just don't know what else to say about it, but
That's a
it's
perfect
awesome.
answer.
It's great.
I would maybe the only question I ask from there is just like, how have you sort of practiced the craft? Because as interviewer to
Mhm.
interviewer, I watch a
Right.
lot of YouTube interviews. I feel like that's
Me
where I
too. Yeah.
subconsciously. What's your favorite series or interview podcast?
Oh my God. Well, I just kind of find random ones based off of like whoever I'm about to interview for the most part. Like
Mm.
I like ooh, when I most recently interviewed Mark Ribier, the like YouTube looper guy, and
YouTube looper guy.
he's like
Oh, that
yeah,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
You
And
interviewed Mark? That's sick.
yes,
How did that go?
I was not expecting him to reach back out. I emailed his management because I saw that he was doing a drive-in tour in Burlingame, and I was like, hell yeah, like I want to go. And so I saved up and I
Mm.
bought a ticket. And yeah, and then I was like, hey, it'd be cool if I interviewed him. Like I'd really like to talk to him and like know about him. And so
Hmm.
I just reached out to his management and I was like, just gave him the whole rundown of what I do. And they reached
Yeah.
back out and they were like, yeah, he's in. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So I did, and it was so bizarre. Like
Wow.
it was so cool though. Like, oh man, I have it up on my YouTube or on the KXSF YouTube, and I was just like, I was so happy the whole time. He's just such a lovely person and like so fucking hilarious. And
Dang. What
yeah,
did you ask him? I haven't seen
crazy.
the interview. What was
So
the
much.
did you
Um, I guess just about mostly his creative process and kind of how he came up as the loop daddy. And stuff
his
like that.
brand?
His brand, yeah, his brand, like how he came up as a, as a like performer and a musician, and just kind of how he put himself out there. And like
Hmm.
it's just so wild, like the age we live in. Like most of the people I interview who have kind of come up through like YouTube, or it's mostly like YouTube, and sometimes just like randomly the algorithm picks up and people start watching, and it just
Hmm.
gets out there, and it's like it's just crazy. It's just really wild. It's very wild.
Well, that seems like a great advice to any aspiring people that want to do interviews. Just ask, just throw it
Yeah,
out there. You
because
might
like
get
most,
lucky.
yeah, and like especially now during COVID, people aren't doing as much, so it's like the perfect
Hmm.
time to reach out to people and be like, "Hey, what's going on? I want to interview you." And I've noticed like most of the time people have said yes, and I'm like, if it weren't for COVID, people probably wouldn't have said yes as much because people are actually doing things. But here we are.
You're seizing the opportunity. That's awesome, Ellie.
Wham!
Congratulations. Well, wow.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna check out that interview. I'll be honest. I didn't know about
Thanks,
that.
man. It was
But
very fun.
Mark is. I mean, he's totally blown up. I knew about him before he was cool. No, I don't. You probably knew about him before I did, but I
I
just
didn't
remember
actually.
he was
No.
like 8,000 followers or something like that, or like 20,000. Like he was so small at one point, and my friend just
Yeah.
was like, "This is my present to you. I'm showing you Mark."
This is my gift. Take
This
it.
is the secret. And then he just totally like exploded in popularity. He's done so
I
much. Like
know. He's awesome.
I think the
But
collaboration was his key for a lot of what. I don't know if you saw his Anthony Fantano.
yes, that's the little yeah, that's the interview I watched with him. I think it's
He
Fantano.
did an interview with Mark, or I thought he.
I
I
think
was
he
just
did an
thinking
interview
the
with him too, but he did the little session with him, right? Like
double
the little
bass
bass.
thing.
Yeah, the little bass thing. Yeah, that was yeah, I went down the rabbit hole, man.
Hell yeah.
Hell
He
yeah.
he still follows like this random person, not this random, but like I know this person who lives in Dublin, California, and like they don't know each other, but for some reason he still follows her on Instagram.
Damn.
So shout outs
Nice.
to Sophia. It's popular with Mark, I guess. They get along.
Best friends. BFFs. Besties.
Gotta include all the random tidbits about Mark that I have, even
I
though
know, I
this
love
is
the
not
tidbit.
about him. We're just. But yeah, he's definitely blown up. His thing, I think, totally was collaboration too, in a lot of ways. Though I
Yeah,
feel like you expand your audience if you can connect with other audiences, and it worked out for him. Like,
exactly. I know. Oh
though,
my
didn't his all
God.
of his tour stuff get stolen? Was that before or
Yeah,
after the
yeah. All of
interview?
his that was actually the day after I saw him play. And I was like, oh, San Francisco, buddy.
That's the most
Ooh.
SF shit.
It's just like,
Every band's get
steal all your
stolen.
shit. Oh my God.
Every that happened to Akira Kira Bonito, I think. That happened
Oh my God.
to
Oh,
Novocation, maybe. I don't know, like lots
so
of
many. I
bands.
I don't doubt it. It's
It
like,
should just be like a warning
jeez.
sign. SF bands, get your freaking van locked away. Okay.
Like, do not like take all your stuff with you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not safe.
It's really not safe. Or just don't sleep there. Go sleep somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marin.
Go
Not that
yeah,
I
go to
fuck with
fucking
Marin
Marin.
that much.
I know, me neither, but I mean, just yeah.
Heck
Same.
yeah. Okay, well, how long have we been freaking doing this thing?
I don't know,
Over an
man.
hour. Wow. I guess we should
Show
probably wrap
us.
up pretty soon. Though I do kind of also want to just throw out a couple more if you're free. I don't know
Oh
how
my God,
busy.
yeah. No, go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm just gonna click on this link that I have here. Oh, never mind. Mm. Big Leap X Cosmic Bloom Holiday Catalog
Oh
Artist
yeah,
Submission.
that's
This is the
coming up.
perfect time to plug it. What the hell
Bam, bam,
is
bam.
that?
So, I've been following Cosmic
Cosmic Plasma.
Cosmic Bloom's work for so long. And I've always been like, oh my God, like what she's doing is amazing. And I know this local band called Analog Dog, and Austin,
Nice.
shout out the homies. He reached out to me and he was like, hey, I know this awesome gal who does booking and events in LA. Do you guys want to get connected? And I was like, sure. And he was like, Cosmic Bloom. And I was like, oh my God, I know her. Like, that's so cool. I love her work. And so we all got connected. We all just started texting, and it was Austin's idea. He was like, hey, it would be cool to put on like a little holiday live stream. And we were both like, yeah, hell yeah, we're down. Let's go for it. So
Mm-hmm.
we're organizing that, and it's really awesome. It's going to be so much fun. We got the lineup all together. And yeah, so right now what I'm doing is collecting little submissions for a digital holiday catalog, just so we can get like
Mm.
the artist representation in there from independent artists from all over who just are selling work for the holidays, have little brands that they're doing, like indie brands and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of submissions so far. I was not expecting to get so many.
Wow.
So I kind of have my work cut out for me, but it's
Dang.
gonna be fun. And then we're gonna like we're gonna put little pages of the catalog in between sets, so
Hmm.
people can take a look and holiday shop and buy from local businesses for their loved ones for the holidays.
Heck yeah,
It's gonna be
that sounds
fun.
like such a perfect tie. And I've seen all these posts on Instagram about don't buy from Amazon, don't
Yep,
buy from the big corporation, which
yep,
is obviously, yeah, don't do that. But good to remind people that there are a lot of locally based
yeah.
options
There are good
available.
options. I know sometimes like when I see those things, I'm like, yes, don't do that, but like give people other options. Like
Yeah.
present the alternative because sometimes
Hmm.
people don't know where to find that. And that's like, and that's not anyone's fault. It's just like the way the algorithm is, which
It's
sucks. But
definitely that way for a reason. In a
yeah,
way, I kind of want to finish this off on one more topic, but continue. Sorry, I have an
yeah.
idea.
Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to say
Well,
about
that's
that.
super
But
exciting. I'm glad to hear that you guys got to do that partnership
yeah,
with
I'm
Cosmic
very happy
Bloom.
about that.
I will be tuning in.
Oh yeah.
Is it December 19th? Is the live stream?
Yes, December 19th on the Big Leap Collective YouTube.
YouTube channel. Okay.
Oh
Make
yeah.
sure put that in the link tree.
Boom, boom. I know, right? Gonna put it in the link tree.
The
Just
first
gonna
one.
make this tree grow.
Heck yeah. Um, Instagram, we've sort of, that's like a big hub and medium for pretty much everything you and I do.
Hmm.
Is there, like, do you hope or dream about a version of Instagram, I guess, that's not as corporate and shitty and Facebooky and Mark
Oh my God.
Zuckerberg?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just so funny now. Like I used to get ads for like huge companies like all the time.
Mm.
But now it's just so funny because they've like like they've narrowed their little search bots to
Oh,
like
totally.
like promoting things that are like locally based. And I'm like, this is great, but also really scary,
Mm.
And I know there needs to be, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some like dinky social media outlets out there for people who are like, solely creators and stuff, but
But nobody's on them.
it's tricky. But nobody's on them because no one they don't
That's
have
the
a following
problem. It's like,
there.
yeah, I want a new social media that doesn't feel so evil,
Me too. I
but it's
know.
almost like it's so evil that you can't, you can't even
Exactly. It's like, it's
the
hard. But
social dilemma.
it is have you seen that?
I have not, but
Have
I
you
know it's a thing.
it's
That's
it's
my thing.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Minus the strange like acting cutscenes.
Is
Other than
it
that.
depressing?
It's a little depressing. It's kind of hopeful though. I mean, it's a little hopeful at the end.
There's some
They make it
glimmer,
hopeful. There is some glimmer. There's
silver
a light.
lining.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. Well, yeah. Maybe the next time we talk, someone will have invented a freaking new platform that we can
Who
all just
knows?
get the fuck out of Instagram. Because as much as it
Right?
is a great tool, it is also evil.
Scary.
I don't know.
Scary.
Um, but you said the ads. What kind of ads are you getting? Because I just get like merch ads these days. It's just local merch bands.
Yeah, I'm getting like a lot of like promoted stuff, and I'm like, oh, I've already seen this, like from
Hmm.
local brands that are trying to put more stuff out there. Like, there's this place in LA, called Church of Pickle. They're awesome.
Whoa.
I don't know if you know Death Valley Girls. I think it's one of the members of Death Valley Girls' little company. It's great. I got like enamel pins made through them. They're amazing, but they're like most recently like they're doing like a
Oh.
VHS tape giveaway, and so I'm getting ads for that mostly, and
I'm just
like
looking at it
hearing,
right now. Sorry.
yeah, no, they're great, they're awesome. And then like other I'm mostly getting promoted content, like people like paid promoted content that people pay to whatever.
Do you
But
ever find yourself looking at one of these ads and going like, "This is a terrible ad," or like you just immediately ignore it? Like it's just like,
I feel like I just kind of like it's so second nature to me now that I just kind of like scroll through and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's an ad, that's an ad, that's an ad, that's an ad. I just don't look at it. I'm just like, no, no, no.
being
So
so I am the product being
like, I
sold.
know I am the product. Whoa! But they're not doing a very good job, to be
Well,
honest. Well, maybe they are. Who knows? I don't
I
know.
mean,
Who knows?
they definitely make money, but also they're not like, yeah, you don't buy every ad. Nobody, you
Yeah,
couldn't
no.
afford to. But
Yeah.
I guess with that, I will give you the opportunity of throwing out the shout outs. You've survived this hour
Shout-outs.
plus long conversation, and
This is a
now
great. Oh my god.
your reward
My
is
reward.
to scream about everything you're doing, or just say it normally, whatever you need to.
But you know what? Shout it from the rooftops or speak it real low. That doesn't make any sense.
It does.
This
I got it.
conversation is a reward. This whole conversation is a
thank
reward. Thank you for what you're doing.
Of course.
Just want to say shout out Big Zenin. It's going out soon.
Fuck
I
yeah.
have the box is literally in the corner of my room, like full of orders.
How
and
much is it?
copies.
I'll buy one.
It is $10 and $4
What's your
shipping.
Venmo?
It is at Grublin. I think it's
at Grublin.
Yeah. Yeah. So buy that. It's gonna be cool. It's really beautiful. I'm really proud of it, and expand your knowledge of local artists and independent artists all over. Yeah.
Christmas, Hanukkah, these are gifts.
These are gifts. These are great
if
gifts.
You choose to
for
participate
people.
in those things. Okay, awesome.
And then yeah, the Cosmic Bloom thing that we're doing happening on December 19th. Tune in. It's gonna be fun.
Fuck yeah.
And
hopefully this is out before then. It should
I know.
be. It
Woo,
should be.
we'll see. The Honey Hive. Oh, the Honey Hive live stream is this weekend. But yeah. Anyway, but if people are watching this, donate to their GoFundMe.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like there's more, but that's off the top of my head.
Big Leap Collective, not mothers. Fantasy Spiders.
Fantasy Spiders. Grublin
Ellie's
music. Yeah.
Grublin. There's
Grublin
just
Goblin.
kxsf. SF.
Close.
KSFX.
About. KFFX. FFM. KFFM.
Okay, I'm still feel like a K. So wait, KSFX, is that what it is?
KXSF.
KX. Oh, there's another.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many. There's not too many community radio
There
stations.
are never too many community radio stations.
Shout outs to the community radio stations.
Love you guys.
And thank you guys for all tuning in. Feel free to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to watch this content.
Yes.
And check out all of Ellie's amazing work. They're going to do great stuff. When we'll see y'all in the future, 2021, because chances are this will be the last episode.
Wow.
2020.
2020, baby.
Unless I somehow do an extra one, but I don't think I will. So, with that, bid you all adieu. Ending the video stream recording. Bye-bye.